What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. What I want to do right now is I want to address some of the problems we are starting to see arise. Right now we're seeing more problems coming from the stimulus checks, the stimulus package, and we're seeing more fighting amongst lawmakers because of all of this. It's starting to actually intensify. First, we are seeing some people having issues getting their stimulus checks because of the way their family is actually set up. Now, I want to address this because a lot of people are having issues, and this is becoming a big deal. Now, here's what we know. Okay, for instance, couples that have since split since this pandemic, since the last year of filing, right? Couples that have split are now, they're having issues because the person that received the last stimulus check is still the one receiving the $1,400 stimulus checks, but they're receiving it for the entire family. Well, there's nothing in this bill that says, okay, if let's say the dad still holds the bank account and the mom or the spouse moved out, right? There's nothing in the bill that says the person, that the filer, has to provide the stimulus checks to that spouse or to their children. There's nothing that says that. So what we're getting right now is we're seeing a lot of people, I've been reached out to multiple times just in the past couple of days saying this exact same thing, but I was reached out to by an attorney today, and he is saying that he is getting overloaded with calls simply because one spouse or one former spouse is now trying to sue the other one to try to get their stimulus check plus half of their children's stimulus checks as well. So it's becoming a big hassle, and as of right now, there's nothing in the bill that says the money has to be evenly divided. It just says this is what you get. So it's becoming an issue. It's becoming a huge problem that right now, many attorneys do not know exactly how to solve this simply because there's nothing in the tax code, there's nothing in the bill that says it has to be split. We're also seeing a lot of people on Social Security that are having issues getting their stimulus checks because some are confusing the Direct Express card with direct payments. And again, this isn't something, I'm not trying to, take the side of the IRS or the Treasury, but I'm just trying to be, trying in the middle and explain what's going on. What we know right now is based off of the current reporting from the IRS, they are stating that the direct deposits for stimulus checks, those went out last week or over the weekend, but they're not anticipated to hit our bank accounts until tomorrow. This is when most banks, according to many statements, is that the IRS said they are going to release the funds on March 17th. However, some banks have already fronted you the money to receive your stimulus check up front, as opposed to waiting till tomorrow, till March 17th, and then getting your stimulus check or that amount that was currently pending, getting the hold lifted. So what I can tell you is, even if you have a Direct Express card, the money, chances are it's going to come out tomorrow on March 17th. However, if it doesn't come out tomorrow on March 17th, chances are it will not come out until March 29th. That is when the IRS is going to send out the direct or the prepaid debit cards. So we haven't, or at least I haven't seen, if any of you have a Direct Express card and you've received your stimulus payment on that as of this point, please let me know down in the comment section below. Let's say like what state you're from and if you received your money, because that would provide a great deal of help to many others that have not received their money yet. But that's currently what we are expecting, because the IRS hasn't actually given us a date of when people with Direct Express cards could start seeing their money. So just keep that in mind. We are still a day away, but again, it's only been 5 days since the bill has actually passed, so it's still fairly quick. So one thing I just want to say is that yes, wait until tomorrow. Wait until we see that, okay, it either came or it didn't. Wait until tomorrow evening. If there's no money on your Direct Express card, then chances are you might have to wait another week or two. But the money is still coming. I understand you don't want to be that patient when you need the money now, but really that's all we can do at this point. Now, in regards to some people closing their bank accounts, this is another big thing that I've been seeing a lot, okay? We have seen reports after reports after reports of people on Twitter saying they've closed their bank account. They can't deal with Wells Fargo. They can't deal with Chase any longer. They decided to close their bank account. They're opening up a new one, and then they will provide the IRS with their new banking information as soon as they open up their new account. Here's the problem. Some of these people that have closed their account yesterday and today, I've been seeing this all over Twitter. Some of these people, and if you're one of these people, I caution you on this. This is a big mistake. What we are seeing is if you close your bank account, let's say today, and the IRS sends that bank your stimulus payment tomorrow, what's going to happen is the bank is going to reject the transfer. It will be sent back to the IRS, and the IRS is going to issue you a paper check, and it will most likely be sent out next Monday. Now, if this gets sent out next Monday, and then we got to wait for the United States Postal Service to deliver this, let's say an additional 5 days there. So chances are you're going to get your stimulus check, not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday. So I would caution anybody that's thinking about closing their bank account because they are just tired of these banks taking advantage of them. They're not trying to take advantage of you. It's just they do not have the funds yet. Being that a lot of people do hold their money in Wells Fargo and Chase Bank, they do not have the funds. If everybody decided, all right, you all got your stimulus check, and everybody ran to the bank and started pulling their money out, the bank would not have the funds to allow people to do that. So they'd actually have to halt any withdrawals for the day, which is definitely not what you want to see. Okay, so just keep that in mind. There is a lot going on right now, but the best thing to do right now is just to wait until tomorrow. Hopefully your checks will clear. If they do, awesome, and then you can start taking your money out then. Now, right now that everybody's starting to get their stimulus checks, what we are hearing is that multiple lawmakers are saying now is the time to get deals done. Now is the time to work on our priorities, because right now the American people's attention is elsewhere. One lawmaker, and I thought this was a little odd, but it's true. One lawmaker said that getting bills passed right after a larger package makes it easier because the focus is usually on what just went through. So when you think about it, have you looked into, except for watching videos here or maybe somebody else here on YouTube or any news, anything like that, have you been looking to see what bills are currently being worked on? Chances are no, you haven't, because your focus is on the stimulus package that just passed, and you're wondering about the child tax credits. You're wondering, are you definitely going to get your unemployment income boost, even though some say there could be a slight lapse? Are you going to get your $1,400 stimulus check maybe tomorrow, or is it going to come later on? So all these things are kind of going on in your head. And so a lot of people right now are not worried about what Congress is doing. Well, this is what some people are saying is, let's get things done now. So Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he's doing exactly that. He's going to try to push President Biden every single day to try to do an executive order for student loan forgiveness. He says there's no way to do student loan forgiveness with a bipartisan stimulus bill simply because Republicans would never go for this. He states that some students are already in programs that do offer some sort of student loan forgiveness. However, it's not enough. He is arguing that they are going to do this. If they're going to do this, they have to do it now. Now is the time to do it. They cannot wait. But Republicans are arguing that offering student loan forgiveness is not something that is critical at this time, and it has nothing to do with infrastructure and creating jobs. So it does not make sense to do a student loan forgiveness at this point, but this could be something that they can discuss later on after this pandemic is over. So that's according to one Republican. But then we have another group of lawmakers that are working on multiple tax hikes. And this is again something that a lot of people just went right over their head. Okay, they're working on tax hikes for larger corporations. Great. But they're also working on tax hikes for wealthier individuals, people making over $400,000 per year. And there's different things they're throwing out there. We could see a tax hike for some middle income families. Most experts do not think we will see any type of tax hike for any lower income family. But they do say that the middle income is in question. Higher income families or individuals will see a tax hike, and then obviously large corporations will see this as well. What we do know is economists predict we will see about $2.4 trillion from these increased taxes over the next 10 years, or in the next 10-year span. And I just want to throw this out there because a lot of people think, oh, that's great, we could pay off this $1.9 trillion bill. Here's the issue. It's just because they do a tax hike now, if President Biden does not win in 4 years, and let's say a Republican comes in and wins, and then let's say we get a Republican House or a Republican Senate, I can tell you right now, all these bills, these tax hikes, will completely go away. They will completely go away. So just because they're estimating $2.4 trillion, this is if things stay as they are. But chances are things will obviously change. What I can tell you is that some economists say that increasing taxes is the best thing to do. It's honestly the best thing to do. However, they also state it's not the best thing to do during a pandemic. They say by doing it at this time, we could see many businesses lay off more employees. They could raise prices on products and services, which would ultimately negatively impact lower income families and individuals. And they say that raising taxes right now actually looks bad for the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party cannot look bad leading into a midterm election. So, what we know right now is that every lawmaker is trying to do something. They're trying to do something to help us get out of this pandemic stronger than the way that we went in. Right now, many are saying that's impossible. However, some say it can be done. However, it will require everything from the government. It will require a lot of stimulus. It will require a big infrastructure bill, and it will require some type of bipartisan support from Republicans. Yet, by introducing all of this stimulus, we are seeing that there is a very good chance we start to see inflation very soon. Jerome Powell is supposed to be in a thing tomorrow, and I think tomorrow and Thursday. He will most likely speak on Thursday. He might speak tomorrow as well. But chances are we're going to see the stock market is going to dip tomorrow. We already saw that today. And the stock market seems to go in the opposite direction of the 10-year Treasury yield. This is something that has been happening for a long time. However, what we're seeing right now is every time we see a little spike in the 10-year Treasury yield, we see the stock market start to sell off. That's exactly what we saw today. And we are seeing that some lawmakers are scared to introduce too much stimulus and too much legislation simply because they are worried they may or may not cause inflation to happen sooner than many people are expecting. So, what I can tell you right now is that all these things are eventually going to collide. Inflation, stimulus, the jobs, right? Unemployment rate, people getting back to work, the housing market's currently at all-time highs. Everything is, the stock market where it's at, everything is going to come to a center point, pretty much a collision point. When it does, it's going to have one of two things that can be done. One, it's going to cause more harm than we have seen over the past year. Or two, everything that has been done up until this point is going to be a good thing, and we will start to get back to normal. Chances are it's going to go the opposite way that you want. Chances are, based on a lot of what experts are saying, what economists are predicting, if we see inflation, this happens sooner rather than later. The best thing you can do at this point is to be invested into Bitcoin. So, what I can tell you right now is I'm not saying you need to go invest into Bitcoin. I'm not saying that's a great investment. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. If you watched my video the other day, I was very clear. I do invest in Bitcoin. I do have some Bitcoin. However, that's not the bulk of my portfolio. So, if you want to go invest in Bitcoin, I highly recommend you do it. Now would be the great time to do it before we see inflation. Chances are Bitcoin is going to go up over the next 3 days. So if you want to invest, now would be the time to do it. I'd highly recommend you go and do it, but do it through an app called Webull. I will put a link down in the description box below so you can go and get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850 just by depositing $100 into Webull. Then you can take that $100 and you can go and buy Bitcoin. So if you want to do that, again, go and click that link, sign up, and get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys on the next one.